All right. Hi. Hey everyone. I'm Machine Vegan, and this is part 1 of 1001 Video Games You Must Play Before You Die by Tony Mott. In this series, we are going in sequential order, starting from the beginning of the book and progressing until we hit the 1001 video game. Some games are out of order in terms of release and creation, but it shouldn't really be a problem. Like always, I appreciate a like, a follow, and a comment. If you'd like to know more, if you'd like to when I post more videos, subscribe to my Twitch channel, hit the bell to get a notification when a new video posts. Now, enough intro, let's get into it. We are discussing page... Let's open it up. 22. The book starts on page 22 the book doesn't start on page 22, but the first game is on page 22. It's the Oregon Trail. Originally released in 1971, it was originally on a teletype machine, and then it would eventually, in 1985, be put on the Apple II computer, which is the most common version of the game that people are familiar with. It's got the graphics, it's got the music, it's got all the different things that are going on. And so this is a genre of game called edutainment, where it's supposed to be educational and it's also supposed to be entertaining. It's mostly entertaining because the reality is that it's not technically, it's not actually an educational game. So, you know, what's the Oregon Trail? Well, the Oregon Trail refers to, and this is from Wikipedia, the 2,170-mile east-west large wheeled wagon route and emigrant trail of the United States that connected the Missouri River to valleys in Oregon. That really doesn't mean anything because we know that the Oregon Trail video game really doesn't teach you anything about the Oregon Trail other than you could get dysentery and then like life sucked. So the Oregon Trail would eventually be so popular that it was on like every computer in the United States as far as public schools went. And it was something that if you ask anyone who's went to public school here in the United States who was above 30 years old, they most likely have played it. And on the computer in the original Apple II style version, not on Apple II, it was probably ported or probably updated onto like a 1990 or 1995 era computer or whatever. But it's been around for 50 years, and it's pretty impressive to see how it is. And so the original version of the game is all done with BASIC. And so BASIC is a computer programming language. It's supposed to be pretty universal and pretty easy to go ahead and utilize. And so what it basically is almost, you know, if you want something simple, in my opinion, this is pretty easy. The choose your own path books where you're reading it, and then it says if you choose to go left, you choose to go right, you know, turn to page 43, and you always put your finger on the page and you look to make sure you didn't die, and then you go over there, and then that you turned out, and you fell down the well, and then you flip back before anybody sees. So in the Oregon Trail, it's kind of the same thing. If you look at the code, and actually, I did find a creator on YouTube who actually has access to the original code from, let me pull it up, who's the creator? VGH Channel actually has access to the original Oregon Trail code, which is really, really impressive to me because it shows if and statements that are really, really interesting to understand the rudimentariness of computers, the simplicity of computers, and then the complexity of computers utilizing that information available. So knowing, you know, information like that, let's, you know, give you an idea of why this game not only is so important and why it's included in the 1001 video games to play before you die, but also what it is historically and its pertinence and its importance to society. So you know, close your eyes and, you know, I just finished watching the Simpsons episode when Lisa and Homer in the sensory deprivation tank. So, you know, float in the water, you know, see your snowball, you know, your cat, or eat the sandwich and get yelled at by Lisa. And it's 1971. That's 50 years ago. You're in 8th grade. It's Minneapolis. It's Minnesota, and you know it's cold, and everybody has with the accent Minnesota. And so you hop out of bed. You're ready to go to school. Your mom's pouring you a bowl of Flintstones cereal, Fruity Pebbles, because this is the first year it comes out. This is the year that Muhammad Ali and I can't remember his first name, but Frazier have their ultimate battle. It's the fight of the century. Muhammad Ali loses in this match very famously. Super Bowl V just comes out, and this is the 5th Super Bowl ever, so that's pretty wild to consider that idea. My Sweet Love has just come out. And if you listen to K-Earth, or I'm not sure, wherever this video is being watched, any oldies stations is playing McCartney, My Sweet Love, all day, all the time. And so that song comes out then, which kind of puts into perspective for me, realizing I hear that song all the time, how old it is. And Evel Knievel, the Daredevil, has jumped 19 cars in Ontario. So these are all happening in 1971, and Dan Roustich is a student teacher going for his degree, and he is assigned, or he is chosen to work at a junior high school. He is teaching American history, and he wants to convey in a manner that the students will be happy to learn about American history and about the path the pioneers take. So he's thinking, I'm going to create a board game. And he has two roommates who are named Bill Heineman and Paul Dillinger. It's like double Gerger. And both of them are computer science majors in college, and they are proficient in BASIC. And they go, hey, Don, don't worry about the board game idea, even though board games at the time, huge. But let's do it in BASIC instead. And he's like, oh, that's cool. We have 2 weeks. Why he had 2 weeks, I'm not sure if it's like his time period was going to be up, or the school was going to be let out. It is the end. It is December at this time in 1971, so maybe that's why the school year might be out. So they spend every night for the next 2 weeks up coding, creating a game, and Bill, Don, and Paul all create a game. Don takes it to school. Don clickety-clacks it into the computer, and the Oregon Trail is born. It's 1971. The kids are introduced to it, and they are playing on a teletype machine. And if you're not familiar with a teletype machine, you may be familiar with a typewriter. Click, 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 ding, click, 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 click. So a teletype machine is a type of computer that is connected over a phone line using a modem. And we all remember, well, I should say, everyone who's older than 20, or I think a lot of people neglect to realize this, or neglect to acknowledge it really, is if you live in a rural area. If you live in a rural area, you most likely still have to use dial-up, because our phone infrastructure system is so much larger and vast than our internet system. So people trying to use updated DSL and everything like that, that didn't come to places like Oklahoma. That's not in places like in Oklahoma or Nebraska, where it's really, really expensive and really, really far to run phone lines and run coax lines and everything like that. Or if you live in Alaska or remote parts of Canada or wherever, if you have access to a phone line, then you have access to dial-up. And so you have to have a modem, and your phone connects, and you go, that's where you hear all those noises. And so the teletype machine is a computer that utilizes a phone line and has a large spool of paper that is basically a feed that it feeds in, and then click, 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 and it types out, I don't actually think it's exactly like this, but it types out responses. You enter commands and it types out responses. So you connect to a central mainframe computer. That mainframe computer then responds back to you, spits it out. And so the teletype computers also, to know, it's kind of rare to see at this time in an or in a junior high school, outside of a college really, because the computer was about $800, and adjusted for inflation, it's almost $4,000 if I remember correctly. But the Minnesota Educational Computing Consortium, which is the MECC, had for some reason invested in getting these teletype machines into local schools in Minnesota. So they had access to one, and Don, seeing the opportunity, went ahead and created the game. So he worked with a couple other guys, and the kids now had access to it. So now that they have access to the teletype machine, and now they're clickety-clacking it in, everybody loves the game in his class, people are doing it, and he really wasn't expecting it to go further than the assignments and using it in class, but it did. And the kids played the game for the rest of the semester. And the semester closed, and everybody was happy, and at the end, he graduated, he got his degree, he went to go work for MECC, actually, the Minnesota Educational Computing Consortium, and then he deleted the code. And that was the end of that. Not really. he had saved a copy of the game, and he actually put it onto the MECC's mainframe computer, and that mainframe computer then had a copy of it, and it was the most accessed piece of code that was available, was on the actual mainframe computer. So people would, play this for another 8 years until eventually technology changed, and the game would eventually be remastered on the version that most people are familiar with, which is the Apple II. And the Apple II computer version has graphics, has music, and is actually the version is the beginning of the version of the game that isn't based on the original code, which is line by line by line by line. So it's actually pretty interesting to see. They took the idea and they took the basics of the game, and they built upon it, and it went from there. So today I'm going to be playing both versions of the game. I don't actually have the 1971 version access to it. I have some of the code, but it's going to be impossible to obviously compile because I only have some of it, and I don't want to, and I don't have a teletype machine, which I'll tell you guys right now. This is the first video in the series. If I win the lottery tomorrow, or anytime really, that is going in. I'm going to buy a the teletype server mainframe, and I'm going to buy a teletype, and I'm going to play the Oregon Trail as originally intended. I'm going to open a museum. Y'all can come and clickety clack. You guys can pretend you're I don't know, you're in junior high, like 12, 13, and then you guys can pretend it's 1971. We'll throw some McCartney on, and so instead we have the 1975 version available to us utilizing Tel Net, which Tel Net is an old protocol. It's an old connection system, kind of. It's basically almost like proto-internet, in that the internet as we understand it, it's your servers and blah, 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 blah. In this case, I am going to type in an address, like the internet, right? You have www.poop.com or whatever it is, and then you get routed there. In this case, I am going to be routing to a Telnet server. And so I went to command prompt, I typed in Telnet, and then it opened to welcome to Microsoft Telnet. If you want to do this, you're welcome to do it. You have to make sure Telnet is enabled on your computer, and there's plenty of videos online to make sure that. So I'm going to press question mark so you can see what it returns. These are the commands. So I'm going to type O because I'm going to open a Telnet. My wife had to help me with that because I didn't know how to do that. We're going to open, and then the address is mickey.publicvm.com, and then it's going to connect to the HP 2100 simulator MUX device line 1. Now we're going to Control J, Control M. Please log in, and I'll post a link of where I'm finding this as well. HELT001, HP 2000, 1. And now I don't know exactly what this means, but I assume it's ports. And so, hey, welcome to the HP 2000 Access Basic Port number 1, terminal type 1. It's 1275 minutes used, 455 records used, account access T001, and it's got a clock. And so it's, right now it's telling me it is whatever that says. I don't know, I think it says 11:30. Well, it's actually right. It's 11:40-ish. And so it's giving me a couple different options. So I can play the 75 version or the 78 version. I want to play the 75 version, the earlier version. And so it's EXE Oregon. Do I need instructions? Yes. And so now it's going to give me instructions. So the program simulates a trip over the Oregon Trail from Independence, Missouri to Oregon City, Oregon in 1847. Your family is five. A family of 5 will cover the 2,000-mile Oregon Trail in 5 to 6 months if you make it alive. You've saved $900 to spend for the trip, and you just paid $200 for the wagon. You will need to spend the rest of your money on the following items: oxen, food, ammunition, and clothing. Oxen, I'm spending $200 to $300 on my team. The more I spend, the faster I'll go because I have better animals. Food, the more food I have, the less chance I have to get sick. Ammunition, $1 buys a belt of 50 bullets. You will need bullets for attacks by animals and bandits and for hunting food. Clothing, this is especially important for the cold weather you will encounter when crossing the mountains. Miscellaneous supplies, this includes medicine and other things you will need for sickness and emergency repairs. You can spend all your money before you start your trip, or you can save some of your cash to spend at forts along the way when you run low. However, items cost more at the forts. You can also go hunting along the way to get more food. However, whenever you have to use your trusty rifle along the way, you will see the words type bang. The faster you type the word bang and hit the return key, the better luck you'll have with your gun. When asked to enter money amounts, don't use a dollar sign, also known as a peso sign. Look that up. Good luck. How much do you want to spend on your oxen team? I'm going to go with what it tells me. Now, remember, I have $900 and I've spent $200. That leaves me with $700. So I'm going to spend $300. So that's going to leave me now with $400 left. So I have $400. How much am I going to spend on food? I'm going to spend $200 on food. On ammunition, I'm going to spend it's $200 on food. That leaves me with $150, $50, $50 on clothes. No, I'm going to spend $100 and then $50. And then my money left is $0. After all my purchases, you have $0. It's Monday, March 29th, so it's spring. I'm living in spring. My food is $200. My bullets are $2,500. I bought too many bullets. That's dumb of me. Clothing is $100. Miscellaneous supplies is $50, and cash is $0. Do I want to hunt or continue? I'm going to hunt. So you type 1, enter, and then type bang. Sorry, no luck today. What do you want? How do I want to eat? Poorly, moderately, or well? I'm going to say moderately. Raiders ahead, they look hostile. Tactics. Run, attack, continue, circle wagons. If you run, you'll gain time, but wear down your oxen. If you circle, you'll lose time. I'm going to run because I bought extra oxen. Raiders were hostile. Check for losses. Bad illness, medicine used. So my miscellaneous supplies, my food went from 200 to 182. My bullets went down to 150. My clothing's the same. My supplies are down 20. Do I want to stop at the next fort? Yeah, I want to stop at the next fort. I don't have any money, so it's asking me what I want to spend. I don't have any money. So I'm going to eat moderately. Wagon gets swamped, fording river. I lost my food and clothes. So my food is 134, bullets at 2350, clothing's at 80, miscellaneous supplies is 30. Do I want to hunt or continue? I'm going to hunt, and then I'm going to type bang. Oh, whatever. So I have a bad illness and medicine used again, so I'm down on supplies. My food is getting low. I am going to hunt. Bang. Sorry, no luck today. What do I want to eat? Moderately. Raiders attack. They don't look hostile. Riders. I've been hearing raiders this whole time. I've had Fallout stuck in my head. They don't look hostile. Tactics. Do I want to run, attack, continue, or circle wagon? If you run, and you know what? They don't look hostile. I'm going to continue with them. They were friendly, but check for possible losses. Helpful Indians show you where to find more food. My food's 112. My bullets are good. I'm going to hunt and then type bang. I'm going to eat moderately. Oh. So sometimes that comes up where it's, do you want to eat? Wild animals attack. Type bang. Bang. Slow on the draw. They got your food and clothes. My food's down to 38. I've only traveled 826 miles. I'm still trying to hunt. I'm going to eat poorly today. There was a fire in my wagon. Food and supplies damaged. Rugged mountains. I got lost. Lost valuable time. Blizzard and mountain pass. Time and supplies lost. You better do some hunting to buy food. Sorry, no luck. I ran out of food and starved to death. Due to your unfortunate situation, there are a few formalities. Would you like a minister? Yes. Would you like a fancy funeral? Yes. Would you like to inform your next of kin? Yes. Your Aunt Nellie in St. Louis is anxious to hear. We thank you for the information and we're sorry you didn't make it to the great territory, Oregon. Better luck next time. Sincerely, the Oregon City Chamber of Commerce. Done. And so if you wanted to replay this, you just do EXE Oregon or EXE Oregon 2 to play the second version of the game. So that's one version of the game. This is by far the hardest version of the game. The Apple II version, a lot easier, but it's still really fun. It is super duper fun, and like you can imagine being in 1971, the options were, you can play outside. Playing outside is fun, but you could read a book, or you could play tic-tac-toe. You could play maybe some board games. You know, you had Monopoly at the time. You had I don't think Risk was around, and maybe Risk might have been around. You had Sorry and Mousetrap and all these other games that you could play. But this was cool. Like your parents were like, oh yeah, they're playing on the computer, that's fine. And the teacher was like, yeah, you can play a game and you're learning, and you're not really learning. And so the other version of the game, which is available via the Internet Archive, is here. Oop, we went ahead and did too big right there. And so, no, stop going big. Yeah, that's fine. So it's going to be under DOSBox. It's going to emulate this game for us. So there it is from the Minnesota Educational. What was it? Minnesota Educational Computing Consortium. This is the version most people are familiar with. You may travel the trail, learn about the trail, see the Oregon Top 10, turn sound off, choose management options, or end. So we're going to travel the trail. And now, with this version of the game, if you have a 10 key, the 10 key doesn't work. Only works during hunting. You can't use it for the options. You have to use the top ones. And so, if you're a banker, you have more money, but you get less points at the end of the game. If you're a carpenter, it's supposed to be a little better, but the farmer gets you the most points. So I'm going to play as the farmer. What is the first name of the wagon leader? And that's me, of course. We're going to go machine veg, because there's not enough characters. Kimchi, my cat. Buddy, my cat. Jonathan, my dog. And Dyson, my fish. Names are correct? Yes. Your jumping off point, I always choose early in the year, so March. Before leaving Independence, you should buy equipment. You have $400 in cash, but you don't have to spend it all. You can buy whatever I want. So I'm going to buy a team of oxen, clothing, plenty of food, ammunition, same things, really, honestly. What do I want to buy? I'm going to go to oxen first. I'm going to buy 4 yokes. I'm going to buy 1,500 pounds worth of food. So I'm left with, oh shit. I'm gonna buy 1,000 pounds worth of food. I'm gonna go to oxen, and I need 2 oxen and a yoke. Remember, there's 3 yoke. I charge 40 a yoke. So how many yoke do I want? I want 3 or what? Oh, no. I want 3. Clothing. You'll need warm clothing in the mountains. I recommend taking at least 2 sets of clothes per person. Each set is $10. So I need 10. I need 10. I don't have enough money. Okay, I'll spend less on food. I'll take 800 pounds. Ammunition. I sell bullets in boxes of 20. Each box costs $2. I want 10 boxes. Guess I'm going out. No parts. You're lucky to start. Good luck. So the part that's cut out, it just says press spacebar to continue. Interesting. Well, there it is. I don't know why I did that. There we go. So I can continue on the trail, I can check supplies, I can look at map, I can change pace, I can change food rations, I can stop to rest, I can attempt to trade, I can talk to people, I can buy supplies. I'm going to just continue on the trail. And I found an abandoned wagon. Ha! Look at that! 3 axles and 1 wagon tongue. Yeah, I want to repair it. Yeah. I have to trade for one? So I just have to wait there and trade? Attempt to trade. You meet another immigrant who wants 2 wagon tongues, but I don't have this. You must trade for a wheel. Attempt to trade. 60 pounds of food, you trade with 1 wagon wheel. I need something, so yes. So yay! 677 pounds of food. Next landmark is in 45 miles. And then I'm at the Kansas River. Yes. It's a really relaxing game with some of the sounds that get pushed out of it. So I can opt to look at the map. Here's the map right there. I can change my pace, and so I can make them go grueling pace. I can change my food rations, and I can make them eat bare bones, and I can make them continue. I must cross the river. So it's 650 feet across and 7.5 feet deep. I can take a ferry, but I don't have enough money, and it costs, I think, $5. I can wait until conditions improve. Conditions won't improve enough for the river to not be deep. I'm not going to ford the river because I assume my guy is not 8 feet tall, so I'm going to have him cock the wagon and float it across. And so there's the animation right there. And it's super nerve-wracking. Oh, it tipped over. Buddy and Kimchi, both my cats drowned. Okay, thanks. 140 pounds. Dyson has exhaustion. Would you like to look around? Yes. So I'm just gonna, you must cross the river. I'm going to cock the wagon. Because I can't ford it. I can't walk across, it's too deep and I don't have any money. I lost 2 wagon axles. Well, that's actually not that bad. So keep going, keep going, keep going. I have traveled only 300 miles and I'm probably gonna die before I reach Oregon. I'm just gonna make him keep going. Let's see how fast, basically how fast I can kill him. 119 pounds of food. I'm going through 3 pounds of food every 30-ish miles. The ox wandered off. What a jerk. My health is poor. The weather's cold. We're moving. If you see that, we are moving. But I have 2,000 miles to travel. I've only traveled 536 miles. Chimney Rock. Looks like a chimney. You couldn't guess. We're gonna keep walking. You know what? Let me show you hunting in this. Actually, it's pretty fun. Yeah, I want to look at the gravesite. Here lies Voland. Hey, hey, hey! Come out to play. That's actually pretty funny. Yes, I would like to look around. Fort Laramie. We are going to. Oh, it's not even letting me hunt, is it? We're gonna continue. And hunt for food. So we're gonna hunt for food. So you hunt for food. So when you hunt for food, you use the 10 key, which again, kind of confusing to me because the 10 key doesn't work for like the numbers, but it works for this. And it's important to note, actually, with the hunting things, you can walk around, which I'm like, I'm just learning this now, pretty much. And so, come on, oh, man. I got 970, so that's almost 1,000 pounds of meat, but I can only carry 100. So just shoot 1 bison and you're done. Don't waste your time doing anything else. Broken wagon tongue. I would like to repair it. Yes, I was unable to repair it. I got lost on the wrong trail. I had 100 pounds of food. That's actually pretty killer. My health is poor. We're basically starving. You know what? You're right. I am going to change my food rations to filling, just so they eat it all fast. So keep going, keep going. Wow, we're actually making great time. This is much faster. Inadequate grass. Don't know what that means. Very little water. Don't know what that means. Yes. And so, weather's cold, my health is poor, my rations are filling. I'm just going to continue on the trail. Jonathan has typhoid. Bad water. Inadequate grass. Bad water. We're just dying and dying, apparently. Bad water. Bad water. Oh, it's not fast. And then I can, actually I'm gonna look at the map. Let's look at how far we've gotten. So we've gotten pretty far. We're actually halfway through now. The trail divides. I can head for Green River, head to Fort Bridger. Green River, Fort Bridger. Green River. I'm gonna go, you know what? Let's go to Green River Crossing. Severe blizzard, lose 1 day. It's warm, my health is very poor. Yes. I'm going to cross. It's 21.5 feet deep. I still don't have any money, so I'm going to cock my wagon and float across. Wow. I made it. Wow. Wow. Walking, and Dyson has cholera. Of course, Dyson has cholera. And we are out of food. Oh. Indians help find food. Wow. I didn't know they would do that. I didn't know the game did that. That's cool. Yeah, I want to look around. That's cool. I'm just going to continue on the trail. Oh. It's pretty good, actually. Okay, so lose trail, lose one day. I have no food. I don't know how I'm still alive. I wonder if the game... One of the oxen is injured. Dyson has measles. Huh. Jonathan has dysentery. I'm on the wrong trail. I lose 4 days. And Dyson has died. Well, I mean, can't win them all, right? I have no food. I have no idea. Machine vegan. I have a fever. Yes, I'd like to look around. Continue the trail. I must cross the river. I'm going to cock the wagon, and I've died. I don't know how I'm still going across the river because I'm dead. I'm dead. That's it. Here lies machine vegan. Would you like to write an epitaph? Go be. No. And that's it. That's the game right there. So super, super cool. I really think that's like a really great example of early American video games, early video games in general, and then what kind of topics were first, kind of acceptable to the general public, especially in regards to video games. So I hope that was entertaining. I hope that you have the opportunity to play the Tel Net version of the game on your computer. And I hope that you can play the archive.org version. And then there's also the mobile game version. So there's a lot of different versions. So I really, really hope you guys have fun. Next video we're going to be doing is Pong. Pong is super exciting because that when we discuss the hardware of Pong. In this case, the hardware concerning the Oregon Trail, I mean, you had the Commodore 64, you had the Atari 400 and 800, both of which could play the game. But it wasn't until the Apple II when the game became big. So I hope that was entertaining, and we'll go from there. Thank you.